You've made a lot of motion pictures in Holland, of course. You're a very big star there. In fact, that's where I first saw you, not in Holland, but in Soldier of Orange. And in that and Max Havelaar, I found myself thinking, how long will it be until we see him on our own screens here? Now, Blade Runner, of course, was made in this country. In this and Nighthawks both, characters that are sort of villainous, but yet maybe not completely so. How do you feel about that? Do you like villains? Do you want to temper them with more honest characteristics at the same time?
I don't see the villain so much. I think Harrison is the villain.
Oh, this is... okay.
Definitely.
No, let's talk about that now. Harrison is the villain. Why is that? He's trying to keep you from doing something, isn't he?
Well, you tell me what you think is a villain, because what is a villain?
The person out there in that audience that gets a reaction that I don't like this person, and I want to see this person stopped. I think I would define that as a villain. I don't want him to prevail.
Yeah, okay.
Rutger Hauer was a prolific genre actor that always played interesting and very strange characters. He was, eccentric and striking to look at as an individual. I was always a huge fan of his, and I thought, what better way to celebrate the man's legacy than talking about one of his own films and reviewing it, especially one that I think is awesome. Like, this movie is fantastic. Of course, I'm talking about the prolific Hobo with a Shotgun. It's insane. And I know Rocket here has never seen it. Adam has seen it.
Yes, it's true. Oh, yeah. I have not. This is one of those ones that slipped through the cracks for me. I've heard nothing but crazy, awesome things about this. I'm a little nervous to dive in to this one finally, but I guess it's time. It's time to see this.
You're in for a wild night, John. I mean, this movie is like one of the most extreme films you will ever see.
That's the way this night's gonna wind up for this guy. So
and honestly, this is like a fitting tribute to Rutger Hauer, man. I mean, like in terms of just the roles he was willing to take on, in terms of just the man's personality.
Yes, it embodies everything about that old school '80s gritty cinema.
I don't think I've seen you around here before. Bobby, guess. You rode in on the rail.
That's right.
Did anybody officially welcome you to town yet?
They never do.
Well...
Welcome to Funtown! Anti-crime groups have been springing up throughout the city, and their inspiration is this unidentified homeless man who's been delivering justice.
This is a goddamn fucking robbery! I'm gonna sleep in your bloody carcasses tonight!
Keep the change.
I want that hobo's head on my wall.
Jerk on this shit liquor!
Or crucify him to a homeless shelter.
Put the knife away, kid, or I'll use it to cut welfare checks from your rotten skin. Hallelujah.
You and me are going on a car ride to hell.
You're riding shotgun.
You can't solve all the world's problems with a shotgun.
It's all I know.
Man, I mean, I really didn't have a lot of expectations going into this film. I'd heard a few people hype it up here and there, but I mean, nothing crazy. I really had no idea what I was getting into with this film. Like, these guys really kind of kept it under their hats. Like, wow. It made some tough subject matter somehow easy to digest. Like, they really managed to get away with a lot of shit in this movie. Like, wow! Like, they get away with so much shit in this movie. Like, now I'm thinking back on it, it's like, wait a minute, what the fuck did I just watch here? Like, I watched some Like, I'll probably have some fucked up dreams about this shit.
Yeah, it's pretty gruesome.
It makes a direct appeal to those who grew up on like the Cannon films of the 80s and like the Orion films, you know, just like those, you know, those sleazy action films which were gritty at the same time, and also tapping into the kind of the John Carpenter vibe there with the music.
Yeah.
And also just the look of the film too is amazing. Just with like the colors they use, I mean, with the lights, I mean, you got your neon purples, your reds.
Main actor, Rutger Hauer, passing recently. I just thought this was like the appropriate end all kind of to his career. I mean, he really gives this hobo weight. And, you know, I'm curious in terms of like an overall like review, where would you guys put this on a star count, honestly?
Man, that's tough because I really can't find much nits to pick with this movie, honestly. Like, it really is a ultra classic, fires on all cylinders. Like, I'm loving what I'm seeing, I'm loving what I'm hearing, not only the soundtrack but the dialogue as well. I thought the script was great. Like, I mean, it gets away with some of the cheesiest lines, but it really, I don't know, like some of the heartfelt scenes, like, they really managed to pull it off. I thought it was good. A lot of love went into it. So when I see all that combined with it just being visually stunning and wow, it was wonderful. I have to give it a 9.5.
Wow! That is a high.
Yeah.
What about you, Dougal? What about you, man?
Yeah, this film was amazing. I mean, like, it's just, I mean, the things that it does, the chances that it takes, you know, the Rutger Hauer performance, I mean, yeah, I'm going to have to give this, like, a solid 8 out of 10.
Nice. That is solid reviews. I love the movie. Let's talk a little bit about actor Rutger Hauer. For me, the first time I ever saw the man was, without a doubt, in the movie Blade Runner.
You were made as well as we could make you, but not to last. The light that burns twice as bright burns half as long, and you have burned so very, very brightly, Roy. Look at you. You're the prodigal son. You're quite a prize.
I've done questionable things.
Also extraordinary things. Revel in your time.
Nothing the god of biomechanics wouldn't let you in heaven.
That movie blew open the doors for me in terms of like sci-fi, brooding, gritty 80s noir, if you will.
That's his, like, and that's his definitive performance, arguably.
Right. It's like, you know, it's an amazing Ridley Scott film, but like, you know, Rutger Hauer's performance as, you know, the replicant, it shocked me as a kid. You know, my dad sat me down, he's like, we're watching this, that's how he rolled. He'd pop it on, I'd be squirming and fighting the whole way because, you know, you're a kid. You don't want to watch what your dad's showing you. And what? Lo and behold, you're wrapped. You're following the story. And Blade Runner was definitely one of those movies. And Rutger Hauer himself, like, he was scary.
I mean, probably the same, honestly. Like, I watched Blade Runner with my buddy Sam back in early high school, and yeah, that was kind of a getting away with seeing this movie, because this is something actually my dad wouldn't want me to see. For me getting to watch it with my buddy Sam, I was like, oh yeah, like really getting away with something that was like
something taboo.
Yeah, right. So it kind of added an extra, mystique to it for me.
The thing about Rutger Hauer is that, I mean, he started off, and he was actually Dutch, and he started off being, you know, your sort of typical leading man in the roles that he portrayed. Gradually, once he moved more into Western film, he started portraying more villainous roles. I mean, the movie like Nighthawks with him and Sylvester Stallone in the early 80s, he just kind of portrayed like this European terrorist. And he started portraying many villainous roles afterwards, which is understandable because, like, he has that charismatic presence that a leading man would, but at the same time he has that undercurrent of danger. But he had a believability about him for that reason. I mean, this was a guy who, if you looked at him, you would be a little intimidated by him.
Definitely the cherry on top for Rutger Hauer's career. I mean, after this film, you know, you would see him here or there in a lot of actually mainstream roles. So like this movie like kind of put him back out there. You know what I'm saying? And like you would see him in like every now and again, just random, you know, movies here or there. And I appreciate that. I like it when directors find the worth in an old classic actor, someone who's, you know, been the maestro.
Someone who inspires them. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, someone who, like us, grew up watching them.
Right.
And one day, you know, dreamed themselves of putting them in a movie and putting them in a movie which suited them so well because of, you know, the vibe that they carried throughout their career.
It's a love letter for anyone that loves this type of cinema. You know, and maybe it's a little too decadent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you really have to know what they're going for in this movie to truly appreciate it.
Exactly. You know, but you know, I think we've said all that we can say about Hobo with a fucking Shotgun. I think we're all fans of Rutger Hauer around here. You know, it's a shame the man passed. You know, the world of cinema will not be the same without his cold, icy stare in front of the lens. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, tune in to Neon Trash.
Moments will be lost in time. Like tears.